Well, good Tuesday morning, everybody. Hope you guys are having a great Tuesday and enjoyed the long holiday. Once again, my name is Ryan Miracle with Ruoff Mortgage. So today's topic, I wanted to kind of do a deep dive into why most agents are giving their business away to other agents. Now, I know that seems kind of counterintuitive, but in reality, what is happening is there's 8,000 agents here in Columbus. I'll start there. So that being said, the average amount of transactions per year per agent is 4. So for a seasoned agent who's been doing this for long enough, they are apt for disruption. And what I mean by that is, how are the agents, 8,000 agents, able to get their hands on a couple transactions a year when they don't make this a full-time thing? So this goes out to agents who are just on their come up and getting ready to get started in their career or trying to figure things out, or for agents who are well established but want to increase their profitability by retaining the clients they already have. All right, so here's the overall issue that we find ourselves having as people in real estate and business in general. Okay, so just imagine, if you will, a realtor, an agent, is focusing solely on bringing people to their house party. So this house party, they've spent a lot of time, a lot of effort to try to get people's attention, make sure that they like them, and then invite them into the front door. So the house party is going on, but the agent's still at the front door trying to usher people in, just kind of like I don't know what they're called, but just like at a circus, the guy who would be at one of the tents trying to call people into the tent. So what you have agents who spend all their time focusing on bringing business in the door. Well, at their house party that they are hosting, people get bored because they're not being paid attention to, and they walk out the back door. So what that means is, as you are busy bringing people in the front door, you're letting people walk out the back. Where this really became relevant to us is, to each of us, is, I'm sure, and drop this in the chat if you guys have had this experience, but how many clients have you had that you found out afterwards that they went with another agent or a family member or a friend? They went with another agent when they knew, or maybe didn't know, exactly what you did every day. So all of us have had that sort of disappointment. And the reason it's disappointing is because, well, they should have come to us. But when it comes down to it, how much attention were you giving them and keeping top of mind with your database? And that's really what the focus is today, is how to stop giving your business, having them walk out the back door to other agents. Because when it comes down to it, Walt Disney really had this really pegged in. So Walt Disney knew that if he took care of the clients that were in the park, they would come back to him over and over and over again. So he did not strip out the value or the showmanship while you were in the park, because he already had your business. You were already there. His intention was to get you to come back over and over again. And that really should be all of our focus, is to get our clients to come back to us over and over again. But that doesn't happen. So according to the NAR, National Association of Realtors, they come out with a report each and every year called the Home Buyer and Sellers Report. So I'm a nerd, admittedly, so I print it off and I read it cover to cover every single year. And it's a free report, so I'm hanging up my earphones. So it is an extensive report. So each year they survey 300,000 home buyers and sellers and agents and lenders. So just 300,000 just for the consumer side. And the stats really never change year to year. So this shows me that this is not a one-time kind of anomaly thing. This is a systemic issue that we have. So the stat that I wanted to start with was 72% of that 300,000 that either bought or sold with their agent said that their agent did a phenomenal job. Great job. They would use them again, and they would refer their family and friends. 72%. So in actuality, in the same report, the number one place where realtors get their business is their sphere of influence. The number two, at 13%, is customers coming back. So that means 72% of all home buyers and sellers said that their agent did such a good job that they would love to come back to them, but only 13% did. I'm curious if anyone's watching and listening, why do you think that is? If you could be so kind, just drop your comment or your suggestion in the chat of why you think only 13% of your past clients come back. So one of the principles, psychological principles that is at play here is called the hedonic decline. So the hedonic decline, an easy way to explain this is, okay, so I have young kids and one of them is going through a birthday phase right now. So, and the other one shortly after. So we are spending a lot of time and effort to try to make sure that they have a special birthday, get the toys that they want, those kind of things. Well, inevitably, what's going to happen to that toy that they pined over for months and we got for them? They're going to play with it for a little bit, and then what happens? Then they eventually get bored with it and cast it aside. So our toy room looks a lot like the database management of most agents and most loan officers. So we are so hyper-focused on bringing in the new stuff. We get dopamine hits when we get something new, a new client, new contract. But over time, that dopamine level starts to fade. And then eventually we don't have as much excitement about that one client or about that one toy. So we get so focused on bringing in new business that we don't pay attention to the business that we already have. So Walt Disney knew this really well, that if he could make the experience so overwhelmingly positive for the people that came to the park, that means that they will want to come back over and over again. Now, how much marketing dollars do you think that he spends or Walt Disney spends to try to bring back past clients? How much do you think that we spend trying to bring back past clients? It's not nearly a fraction of what it is to bring in new clients. Doing things like this, the CE stuff, it's all an attempt to try to bring in new business. However, for my agents that I work with on a regular basis or clients that I work with on a regular basis, they come back because I try to show them love too, but I spend almost no money doing it. So also in the report, once again, the home buyer and sellers report from NAR, it's free, go download it. In the post stream, I will drop it in the chat to make sure that you guys have access to it as well. So in that same report, the average amount of agents that a buyer or a seller interviews before they pick the agent they're going to go with, guess what? It's one. So here's my synopsis of kind of what's happening. So you, agent, or other agents like you or loan officers like me, they get so excited about bringing on that new client, that's their hyper focus. They bring in that client, they close them, and then a couple years goes by. Over that time, the amount of touch points or the amount of effort that was spent to be top of mind with that client drops significantly because there's no new business to be had right away. However, what's going to happen is as the buyer starts to get uncomfortable in their situation, either they need a refinance and they don't like their current home loan, or they are looking to sell the house that you sold them. Well, what's going to happen is their discomfort level with their current living situation is going to keep creeping up and keep creeping up. So eventually they're going to start looking on Zillow. They're going to start looking at realtor.com. That process is going to happen for a couple months. And then once they finally decide to raise their hands, the agent who has the first point of contact with them is the one that usually wins. So it happens to us too on the loan side. So when rates drop, the people that we, the customers that we send for servicing, they end up getting solicited by the servicer. They see commercials for Quicken Loans. They have all these different touch points with other lenders. And if I didn't do a good enough job staying top of mind with them, they're going to go likely with the first person that they talk to. So it's unfortunate, but it's just the nature of how humans work. So what I wanted to do today is really impress upon you that you are giving business away to other agents. And if you're a good agent and you have a strong database, it doesn't mean that you can't be disrupted. And that's honestly how a lot of agents are able to stay agents and do those 1 to 4 transactions every year, is because they just happen upon them. Now, if you are a newer agent who is looking to try to make sure you're not making this mistake, you're still in the right spot too. So what we're going to do today is talk about, so we've kind of talked about the pain points. I've poked the bear enough and you kind of understand what the problem is. So what we're going to talk about going forward is we're going to talk about the solution on how a newer agent or an established agent can either build their business and retain more clients and be more profitable over time, or an established agent can stop the bleeding and giving their business to other agents. So that being said, the first thing that I really wanted to talk about is your list. Now, this is something that I got from one of my mentors. His name's Russell Brunson. I don't know him directly, but I digest almost all of his books. So the book in particular talks about, there's 3 books: .com Secrets, Expert Secrets, and then Traffic Secrets. So the one in Traffic Secrets really talks about the amount of ownership you have over your list. Now, your list can mean a couple of different things for a lot of us. It means the people that follow you on social media. It could mean your email list. It could mean the people that you are in your networking group. So it could mean a lot of different things. But more specifically, what I wanted to focus on is the list that you own. Now, what I mean by that is, say Realtor.com no longer is in business, or Zillow is no longer in business, or Facebook ads are no longer in business. So most agents, actually 73% of all business that is generated comes from places that realtors and loan officers have zero control over. Zero. So they pay into these systems, but if they go away or they stop paying, then that list dries up, that business dries up. So that is traffic that you pay for. That is a list that you pay for. Now, what I find is if you are doing those subscriber kind of things to where you are paying for those services to get opportunities for people who raise their hand, if you are not saving each one of those names, phone numbers, and emails for future marketing, you're missing out. That's really a place to where you can stop the bleeding first. The second place is your family and friends. So you can have a list of your family and friends' names, phone numbers, and emails. So outside of the people, the leads that you are paying for, you should be retaining every single one of them. You then need to add in there your sphere of influence, your SOI. Now, Keller Williams is really big on this, and they teach a lot about how to cultivate and have touch points. That the whole 33 touch point thing that they do with Bold is great. It's a great principle. However, the execution of it is up to each of us to try to figure out. So your list could be traffic that you pay for. So that is Zillow, Realtor.com, those kind of things. It could be traffic that you can control. So that is things like social media. So traffic that you can control is you can put messages out there, and you can control the messages that are put out and when in the volume. However, you do not own that traffic. So if Facebook went away, all of your Facebook followers gone. Instagram goes away, they get bought by somebody, gone. So that is traffic that you can control, but is not traffic that you own. The one that I really want you to focus on building, if you're not doing so already, is traffic that you own. So every lead, every person that you meet at church, your family, your friends, everyone that you come across, your mission should be to make your list as big as possible. Now, this doesn't really apply to real estate specifically, but in the e-commerce world, it's basically said that every month you should make $1 for every email that you have on your list. I'll say it again. So in e-commerce, you should make $1 for every person that is on your list. So for someone in real estate, once again, we're not selling deodorant or slippers. We're selling a large asset. So we don't need as many sales. But the point being is, the larger your list is, the more opportunities you have each and every month when it comes to marketing yourself. So like yesterday, I know it was a holiday, but yesterday I booked probably close to 7,000 marketing messages to go out over the next week. So that is invites like you got yesterday and today. That is, we just finished our market update video. So that's going to be going out to 4,500 agents and past database. And then scheduling text message reminders, those kind of things. So all of that is done because first and foremost, we had a list of names, phone numbers, and emails that we can market to. So I'm not pulling that data from Facebook. I'm not pulling that data from Realtor.com or Zillow. I didn't pay for that list. That is names, phone numbers, and emails that I've gained over the last 15 years, or people that have come to CE. So over time, my list keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and I don't delete any information. I update information, like an email address is no longer working, or a phone number needs tweaked, or they moved, or something like that. So I'll update the information, but I never delete anything. So I have a lot of conversations with agents each and every month, and that is a fundamental problem that I see that you are not being taught. Is you need to be growing your list as much as possible. That should be one of your sole focuses, because if you don't have anyone to market to, it doesn't matter how damn good of an agent you are. If there's no one to talk to about it, you're hosed. So what I suggest is two things. So one, get a CRM. A CRM stands for Customer Relationship Manager. And for the agents that are watching, I'm doing actually for Next Level CE, a lot of us, we're hosting our monthly CE classes next week. So Tuesday, starting at 10. So look out for your invite, save your spot. The class that I'm going to be teaching is CRMs and how to use a CRM to stay top of mind. So it is one of the fundamental tools that we have in our business, and I recommend that everyone have one. So get yourself a CRM. If you want to have conversations, you can drop your questions about CRMs in the chat. I'm happy to answer whatever you have as far as questions about CRMs, which ones, how I use them. I'll give case studies. I'm an open book here. So just ask your questions. So if you don't have a CRM or don't have the funds to pay for a CRM, the next thing you should do is get a Google Sheet. So Google Sheets are free. The cool thing is you can have them on your phone or your desktop. So by having a Google Sheet, you come across someone at dinner or at a party, or you get your most recent Realtor.com lead. That information, that first name, last name, email, phone number should be going onto your Google Sheet. And over time, that list is going to swell. And just imagine if you started today and you come across 100 people each year, your list is going to grow by 100. So 5 years from now, you're going to have 500 people that you can talk to whenever you want. So you can pick up the phone and call, you can text them, you can email them. The point is you're going to have that data at your fingertips to be able to pull that information out whenever you want. So that is lists that you own. That is a list that you own, is your database. So if you are not collecting your database or trying to grow your list, your database, you are giving opportunities away to other agents. And some of those agents you may not even like. Some of those agents would like to see you driven out of business, and you're giving them an opportunity to do so because you might have maybe 10 opportunities a month, and maybe 2 of those will go into contract or have the potential to go into contract. Now just imagine if one of those contracts was a past client, and just because you weren't following up well enough, you let them go to another agent. And the stats show it. And all of us have felt it by having a past client go to another agent or another loan officer. This happens all the time. It's just because we're not being diligent and protecting the list, the customer base that we work so hard to get in the front door of the party. We're just letting them walk back out the back door. So there's a couple of tools that you can use aside from a CRM that can help you. So assume that you have an established list. So say you've been an agent that's been around for a while, and you have this list that you've been completely ignoring or not doing as much as you should. So it feels kind of awkward or weird to want to reach out to them, mostly because, what do you say? It's been so long, you probably don't even recognize or realize who some of those people are. So in our database, we have about 40,000 people in our database. A lot of those agents from all over Ohio. Some of those are past Realtor.com leads, past leads that agents have given me, close customers, family, friends. So it's kind of a hodgepodge of all kinds of people. And I'm sure you're kind of the same way if you have a list, is you have kind of a hodgepodge. Once again, if you didn't do a good job tracking the source, it's hard to really know where they came from. So how do you start sending them messages again without it being awkward or weird? So there's a tool that we use. So I actually came across a video through Russell Brunson ClickFunnels, he had a guest speaker. Her name is Yada, and she's a copywriter. And basically, she had the same issue. And in essence, what she did was she wrote an email sequence that went probably 9 emails long. So she wrote 9 different emails covering different things that she wanted to talk about. And once again, none of it was selling. It was all about where have we been? What have we been up to? What are we excited about? What we do, how we learned it, who we can help, and how we can do it for you. So there's a specific sequence that you send out to the people that you haven't touched base with in a while. Now, if you're fortunate enough to have gotten that, and if you're watching and you've gotten that, let me know your feedback, because the last bit of it just got done being sent out over the weekend. So it got sent out to 4,500 people. And by doing so, it lets complete strangers, people who have been on our list for a while, but we haven't touched base with, so they don't really know who we are. It warms them back up and then gets them ready for us to start sending normal messages like market updates, and whatever marketing messages that we wanted to send at that point. So we are no longer strangers because we have sent them, or they've had the opportunity to warm up to us using what's called the subscriber revival. Now, if you guys want me to do a class specifically or a live stream specifically on subscriber reviver, let me know. Once again, we can share what we've learned, what we would do differently, and some of our successes with it. And we got a lot of great feedback from it. So I would love to share that with you so you can kind of cut your learning curve. Now, once you kind of get them warmed up, then it goes to what kind of messages do I send to them after they're warmed up. So what we're focusing on is not sales messages, not how awesome we are or what we can do for them or those kind of things. It's information that's going to help them, no sales. So the first thing that we're focusing on is we're focusing on market updates. So just pure data. So what's going on in the market, and I know all of us send this stuff out or should be sending this stuff out, but what we do is we package it into a quick video and then send it out through our email distribution list, put it on Facebook, put it on socials, put it on YouTube. So that way it lives there forever. But that is one touch point that we're sending after we got them through Subscriber Reviver. The second point is stuff like this. We're doing live streams. So we're working on building up our muscles, so to speak, for live streams. And then eventually we're going to get into live Q&A for customers. So people looking to buy homes, letting them ask their questions, answer their mortgage questions. What is down payment? How do I get down payment assistance? How do I repair my credit? And then lastly, we're going to be sending out stories about our customers. So once again, it's not necessarily, if you look at most of the social media landscape, it's very me focused. So look at my closing that I just did, look at how awesome I are, look at the pictures from my boating weekend, those kind of things. It's very me centric. Very few of your peers and my peers are very outward focused. So making the customers the center of attention. So the customer story piece is not necessarily a testimonial or a review. We actually want to hear the story of our customer. So they got shipped out to Kansas and they lived out there for 10 years, dying to come back home. What was their story like? What was their journey like? What were the struggles that they had? And then how is their life better now? So very little of it's going to be focused on us and our team. However, it is going to be telling the customer stories. So if you think about it, if we make any sort of large purchase as an individual, we are looking for other people like us who have had a good experience that are in a very similar situation. So the service providers are great. Yeah, we look at their stars and everything, but what we're really looking for is, can they help someone like me? So reload clients, first-time home buyers, first-time sellers, downsizers, whatever your demographic is, kind of get a generalization of your customer types. And then you can send out customer stories telling their story, not yours, not telling how awesome you are or I am, but telling their experience. And by doing so, that's going to increase your credibility and give you another touch point each and every month with your database. So if you are staying top of mind, and that's really the focus here, is staying top of mind with either the Subscriber Reviver, social media, using your CRM as a tool, or if you don't have a CRM, using Google Sheets and just picking up the phone or just sending organic text messages. So that's really the crux of what I want to get across today. And we got through this a little bit faster than I'd hoped. So if there's anyone that has any questions that's watching, I would love to have a little bit of a dialogue so we can kind of help you with your questions that you have. So drop them in the chat. Love to see what I can do to help you. But the point being is I really, really, really want you to stop giving away business to other agents. You work really hard to get that customer to come in the door the first time, and to let them just walk back out the back end. It's a travesty. It really, really is. Because that customer coming back to you, they would love to work with you again because that reduces the friction on their side, but you're not staying top of mind. And then they forget about you. And there's actually a report that I saw not that long ago, and once again, I'm a numbers guy, that said that it only takes maybe about a year for them to forget your name. And it takes about 3 years for them to forget your face. And I think beyond 5 years, they can't even remember if you were a guy or a girl or what you look like. So they forget about you really quick. I mean, just think about the guy who sold you your car or the couch. I mean, quite honestly, you probably don't remember what they look like over time. So the same principle applies to you as well. People forget about you if you're not doing a good enough job staying top of mind. So once again, drop your questions in the chat about what we do to stay top of mind. We send out a lot of marketing messages each month, and it is our goal to be the best known and the best loan officer team in Central Ohio and in Ohio. So we've bumped and bruised our way through a lot, and would love to help share some of that experience with you so we can help you keep your clients, because that's really what we're trying to focus on today, is keeping more cash in your pocket and not letting it go someplace else. So I'm going to leave the live stream open for another couple minutes, but I would love to see you guys jump in and share some of your experiences, or if there's a trick that you have learned, I would love to hear that too, because we don't think that we know everything, but we are continually looking for better ways to market ourselves and keep more of our clients. So once again, we're going to be going into a deep dive in the CRM world, like how do CRMs work, what CRMs are good, what things that you can do with the CRM, kind of going further than what we have today on next week's live stream. And once again, it's going to be CE accredited, and it's going to be taught by myself. And there's 2 other classes that you could pick up as well. So, yeah, it doesn't look like anyone's very talkative today. So what I'm going to do is I wanted to thank you guys so much. Once again, this live stream is continually trying to evolve. We're trying to stay top of mind with you. We would love to do what we can to help you serve you, your clients. Thank you, Megan. I appreciate the nod. But yeah, if anyone needs help, if you want to learn some of the things that we have learned the hard way over 15 years, and we're continually trying to learn, I love to teach. I love to share, and we have a very abundance mindset on our team, and we would love to give away all of our secrets if we can. We just need someone to give them away to. So for those of you who showed up today, I really appreciate it. For those of you watching on the live stream, shoot me a DM if you have any questions. I appreciate you. Hope you have a great week, and hope you're building your systems and your processes. So when winter comes, because winter is coming, Jon Snow, you guys are going to be able to thrive and get back to the busy season come spring. So once again, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for showing up today. And once again, my name is Ryan Miracle with Ruoff Mortgage. Go crush it today. And once again, we're just a miracle looking for a place to happen. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you soon.